So a bit of it's an interesting situation, an interesting, maybe even juxtaposition, if I'm using the word correctly. Where, okay, so if we want to dare to live a life in which we genuinely enjoy, that we appreciate, that we have gratitude, where we can have good relationships with others, where we're able to feel enough of connection to our fellow man, our fellow woman, um, that we genuinely want to use our energy, use our time, um, use our abilities to make the world a better place, then the juxtaposition, if I am using the word correctly, if I'm not, so be it, you'll still understand what I'm saying, um, is that we have to become, I believe it is very important that we become incredibly skilled at dealing with difficult emotions, with difficult feelings, with um, things that make us uncomfortable. And the question, of course, becomes naturally, well, so why, if I want to feel good, do I got to get good at feeling bad? Um, because on a very simple level, if I am not skilled at feeling bad, then I cannot be with anything that confronts my perspective and paradigm of how the world works. And for those of us that are not yet enlightened, which means I react and respond inappropriately to good things, to positive things, to healthy things, um, which is 99.9% of us, um, that I'm going to have reactions and responses inside my body to certain situations where the way someone else is interacting, what's going on in the world is actually a good thing. It's a positive thing. It's a healthy thing. Or probably much more likely, much more common, is that there are aspects to the situation that are actually really positive, really healthy, really good, or things I can learn from. Um, and so if I develop the capacity to be able to be an uncomfortable and difficult emotion, difficult experience inside my body, um, then I can learn from that experience. I can grow from that experience. And it opens up the set of possibilities and the different places that I could go into and engage in the world. And on another very simple level, if we want to be at a place where we can contribute, where we can give, where we can help others on their quest and their journey and their lives, there's a level of darkness there, right? There's a darkness that they are existing in, and which we're venturing forth to be able to support them. And sometimes that darkness is going to feel dark to us. And if we can't handle that, then we can't enter that space. So, um, you know, I think that's so important with these types of things is, we explore, we discover, we go out into our life and we move forward. And as we move forward, we discover the ways and manner in which we most effectively are able to move through these challenging experiences. And to kind of, so I'm going to start with a bigger overarching kind of philosophy. And then I'll start with then I'll go into four specific steps that I have found to be very, very beneficial for me, kind of four overarching steps. So, like, underlying bigger piece philosophy is that I want to be able to access my highest self. Now, what does that mean, my highest self? It means I want to be able to access all the skills that I developed over the course of my life, my background knowledge, my background education, my capacity to feel the experience of another human being, to be able to notice the nuance, to be able to connect with them, and be able to support them and meet them where they are at. Now, for me to be capable of doing this is not my theory or my opinion. This is what we now know with brain science, is that when I am at my most calm, most present state, my nervous system is the most regulated. The specific parts of the brain of my body, because the brain isn't just here. We have a head brain, we have a heart brain, we got a gut brain, that though the parts of the brain that are able to deal with the social engagement system. So I'm able to feel the experience of another human being. In other words, I can see what's actually I can feel what's going on inside of them. We actually have what are called brain or mirror neurons. Neurons are brain cells. So mirror neurons, the role of them is to feel the experience of other human beings. And so sometimes that's why we'll have an experience with another human where we're going to like, I can just tell they are feeling this. When we're really settled, when we're very calm, when we're very present, it's because our mirror neurons, our brain cells are mirroring the experience of another human being. For those to be activated, we have to be at a very calm, present, relaxed state. Then that part of the brain turns on, those cells become capable, those brain cells become capable, mirror neurons become capable of coming to life. In addition, our ability to the parts of the brain body that deal with long-term consequences, seeing systems in place, pattern recognition, these things are all activated. Our ability to have compassion for others is also activated to the degree, now the opposite, to the degree that I am triggered, upset, angry, my ability to feel the experience of another human being actually shuts down. The primary goal becomes survival. It becomes about protecting me. I need to find danger. So I'm going to find where's the risk, what's the problem here. And so my brain is actually scanning for problems in situations, which is extremely problematic if there aren't actual problems, right? I'm sure we've all had this experience where we've noticed maybe someone else is coming hard at us. And we're like, why are they coming so hard? And maybe some of us, I do this, I've done this countless zillions of times. I'm guessing you have too on occasion, where our reaction is a little bit over the top. And by a little bit over the top, I mean a little crazy. It's not crazy based upon where we're coming from, but it is an inappropriate response based upon the actual situation in front of us. So, bigger overarching underlying philosophy belief. I can't access all my education, all the skills, all these places, pattern recognition, all these things when I am, quote, triggered. I can't. I'm incapable of it. Those parts of the brain shut down. Long-term consequences, the ability to see the long-term consequences of our behaviors, of our actions, it actually shuts down. That part of the brain shuts down. This is why when we often talk to kids, what were you thinking? Didn't you realize X? Actually, the answer, if they're honest, is no, I didn't. Or, yes, I did, and I did not care. That is the actual truth. They are saying the straight up truth of what their brain is going through. It literally like turns off like a switch and then turns on as we get calm. And that's when we have the feeling of like, oh, I'm so sorry. I wish I didn't do that. So this is a bigger overarching philosophy where I deeply believe that we are at our best, our highest level, our highest potential, biggest impact, biggest contribution when we are calm, we are present, we are attuned, which means we're connecting with other human beings, and we are able to access our highest level skills. Now, to the degree that we have made a commitment to grow and develop ourselves, the more and more beneficial this gets because we have a wider and vaster repertoire of skills and abilities to access, which is very exciting. So books are incredible. Courses are incredible. I love them. If I was going to get a tattoo with a heart on my chest, it would not be mom. It would be books. And maybe some organic foods. So steps I've found to be beneficial in my life that I've recently become more aware of when moving through difficult energy, when I have like some type of inappropriate response to a situation. Number one rule above all else, which this one can be difficult to digest, but I will explain where I mean it, is no blaming. Don't blame, right? So now there are unquestionable and undeniable situations in which someone else should be blamed for their behavior. That being the case, what I'm thinking about here is what is most empowering for us as human beings to be able to move forward. And the reality is that I can share with another human being the experience that I'm having, but I cannot force them to take responsibility. I can't. We can't force them to take responsibility. Just because I do not blame someone does not mean someone else is not responsible for things they have done. And so that's an important distinction. I think it is great to be aware of ways in which others have chosen to interact with their world, and then we make decisions based upon that. So it's very important to make the distinction when I say we do not blame. It doesn't, I am not saying others are not responsible for their out of line behaviors. But I am looking at, for me, what are the things that allows me to move forward and allows me to get to this place where I could have a good quality life in which I'm making a genuine contribution to making the world a better place. And so, number one is no blaming. And that means don't blame me neither. I don't blame myself. So I'm not going into no shame trips. I'm not blaming the other. It's not, oh, Izzy, you're so horrible for doing this. You're so horrible for responding. Okay, then I'm going to be with the energy. I'm not going to be with the thoughts. I'm going to notice thoughts maybe that show up, but I'm going to be with the energy. I'm going to be with the experience inside my body. Where do I feel it? What do I notice? Start to just notice my experience. Tension in the chest, tension in the neck, tightness, compression, feeling fear, anger, like noticing just my experience, noticing the energy. Okay. That's number two. Number three is going to be moving through the energy in a healthy manner. Now, this is where we start to get into, quote, regulating activities. Now, so regulating activities calm our nervous system. So giving examples for me personally, I find meditation to be an excellent practice. So breathing, going out on walks, especially if like I have a lot of anger or tension, going out on walks is incredible for the movement. Breathing into my body with sometimes hot weather actually is really helpful if I'm a little bit dysregulated. So breathing into it, walking in nature, excellent. Listening to music is utterly phenomenal for me. Sometimes it's a total shift of activity. So breathing, doing that. Sometimes it's reading a book, sometimes studying Spanish, listening to an audiobook, listening to music, phenomenal again, going to the gym, working out, training jujitsu, all of these, doing yoga. Yoga is utterly phenomenal for me. So these are all healthy ways to move the energy through. So this is number three. And then number four, and this one I believe is so important and so powerful, is allow time to do its magic. Now, time, I do not believe the quote, time heals all. I don't think that's true at all because we have trauma that is stuck in our body. And these are things that are getting re-triggered. But when we get the energy moving in a healthy direction, yes, then time has the capacity to run its magic and do its healing, right? My garden will not grow magically if I just give it 58 years. I'll water it, I put in good seeds, I do a little companion planting with nice other plants, and I water it appropriate amounts, right? Letting the energy move in a healthy manner, yes, then time is utterly incredible in what it can allow it to grow. In summary, 4 steps. Don't blame. That means don't blame others. Don't blame yourself, right? Number 2, notice the energy. Be with the energy. Be with the experience. Number 3, move through the energy in a healthy manner, right? Sometimes that journaling too. I'm not going to forget that one. That one's huge. I love just writing, getting it all on paper. And then number 4, allow time to do its magic. I will say one final thought in regards to these kind of steps, this process is they do work together, right? So if I am in a mode where I'm totally all about blaming and I be with the energy, it actually doesn't help me because in my experience, this is for me, right? For me, it doesn't help me because then I'm with the energy and I'm like, I feel so tense and it's your fault. Or, I beat up, my chest feels so tight. And like, what is wrong with me, right? So it's, all right, I ain't blaming no one. I'm gonna be with the energy. Okay, now I'm being with the energy. Now I'm gonna move the energy. I'm gonna move the energy in a healthy way. Move the energy in a healthy way. How do I be with the energy? Sometimes that's just breathing into it. Just giving myself the freedom to feel whatever I'm feeling, right? Then move through the energy in a healthy way. Engage in some activity, something that moves in a healthy way, and then allow time to do its magic. And allow sleep to do its magic. Sleep is incredible. Incredible.